Hey guys, what's going on? How's everybody doing today? Just getting things set up here. Getting ready to paint some Chainrasp Horde. Got a lot of work to do on these. We got a bunch of them. What's up? How's it going? Welcome back. What are we doing tonight? Alright, so I have got a bunch of little ghosts. They're super tiny. Not like the ones I've been painting. These ones are definitely much smaller. These are called the Chainrasp Horde. They are, I don't know, supposed to be the spirits of slain prisoners and the like who thought they were going to escape servitude once they died, and well, lo and behold, that didn't happen. They got sucked into everlasting crappiness by the Lord Nagash, who is, you know, one of the big evil necromancer dudes in Age of Sigmar. So we're gonna paint these guys up. We started a couple of them the other day. We got them up to about this. We got them to the Statue of Liberty white level. And so we're going to be taking them a little bit farther than that. Let's see, there's one thing I want to do here before we get started. That'll work a little bit better. All right. So what are we going to do? So tonight we're going to work on, we've got this Citadel technical paint. This is one of the new paints that Games Workshop just put out. It gives us this cool light green So we're going to be using that. We got about 18 more guys to put it on. And then after that, we might do some dry brushing, we might do some airbrushing, or we might just finish these two guys off and see how they come out and go from there. So let's switch on over to painting mode here. For this, just kind of need a big brush. And we're just gonna put a bunch of this on. This stuff's pretty easy to use. It's a pretty thin paint. Of course, the more you put on, the thicker it's going to come out, so it's kind of up to you as to decide how much you want there to be. And we're just going to do all the ghosty body parts. I'm almost kind of tempted. I kind of wish I had done these guys with like a gloss glaze, so this would sink to the deeper parts of the model a little bit quicker and easier, but let's see what we get. The first couple I did with this stuff, I did the glaze a little too thick, because this is really a glazy paint, and glazy paint is basically a very thin paint that's meant to be translucent. Right now we're just going to do all the ghost parts. We're not going to do the weapons or the chains, because those are going to get a completely different color. I have to admit, I really love this song. I hope you guys can hear it. I changed the song volume, and I really don't know what it sounds like until I watch the VOD tomorrow. So as you can see, this paint just kind of sinks into the recesses. It leaves a natural highlight in all the places it really starts to fall away from, and we can kind of pull some of that out if we want to add some extra highlight. Yep, this is Age of Sigmar Warhammer chess. And Shep 2 there, Shuli. I hope it's not chess. I suck so bad at chess. I just don't have the patience for it. Got a little bit more here than I intended. Hello, Shuli. My mic is on, right? Yep, it should be working. Welcome to my painting streams. Oh, good. I just wasn't sure if you could hear me there. So what you up to? You said you were going to stream the other night, and then I went and looked at your VODs, and I didn't see anything new, so I think you lied. Or you changed your mind. Let's say you didn't lie. You changed your mind. How's that? So right now we're just got a bunch of these guys. We got, I don't even want to count them, 15 more or something. And we're just going to do the same thing to all of them. This is miniature painting. Sometimes it's just a grind. But I love these ghost models. They're so cool. Even these ones, which are kind of cheap, crappy units in the game, they're not really super powerful per se, but sculpts are so good. I attempted to use a slightly bigger brush on these guys, but should be alright. So what's going on in your world? Anything fun, exciting? Just the same old, same old? Tell me what's up. Oh, crap. What is 81 in Fahrenheit? Because right now, like today, it was in the high 90s. So 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and then there was a lot of humidity. It was actually really, really stifling. That's actually half the reason I'm streaming right now, is because normally we take the dogs out and go play with them this time of night in the yard, and it's so hot and crappy. I'm gonna wait until it cools down, so thought I'd jump on, do a short stream, get some of this painting done I need to do, and then we'll go deal with that here in a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry, you did say 81 Fahrenheit. That's nothing. You must not have air conditioning where you're at. Although, you know, I used to live in a town like that where it never got hot, so there was no AC. $8 million? Dude. You're a secret millionaire and we never even knew it. What's up, Schwans? I thought you were saying it was 87 Celsius. I'm like, aren't you almost boiling? Isn't that like 150 degrees? God, that would be terrible. Nobody wants to live like that. Tell your friends. Do you have one of those Instagram accounts where you pose in front of like expensive cars and are like, you just have to believe in yourself and you can make millions of dollars too? Please tell me you're one of those guys secretly, because that's amazing. Little Tay. I'm just lathering on some really thin paint here and chatting with you guys. This is one of the worst parts of miniature painting is when you have like 20 guys to paint and you gotta get them started. So thank you for the company. You guys make it that much better. So how's the music? Is it like feel like a background music or is it still kind of overwhelming? That doesn't surprise me. I have a pretty twisted imagination. The only problem is if you're figments of my imagination, you guys are pretty fucked up. I hate to break that to you. But if you're part of my imagination, that's not a good thing. Es bueno, como se dice cerveza, por favor. ¿Dónde es baños? What'd you decide on, buddy? These are from the Age of Sigmar Nighthaunt collection. Age of Sigmar is a game done by Games Workshop, which is a company local to you. They're in Nottingham. They're one of the oldest miniature gaming companies probably on the market anymore. Everybody always asks what D&D game I'm going to be playing. Which is a fair question, but these are actually for a miniature war game. Stocking up on Jack's what? Coffee break. Jack Daniels, nice. Is there a problem with the Jack Daniels distillery? Are they going out of business or what? Did Steve Jackson originally come from Games Workshop? I don't think he did. I don't remember that. What kind of lies are you feeding me there, Shuli? Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I just had a couple shots of whiskey before I started this because this is a pretty mindless little task. Like, it's really just a matter of finding all the stuff you want to cover. I'm not being careful. I don't have to pay attention very, very well. I could almost airbrush this on, but there's really no reason to. I am gonna look that up. Because that's old school, if so. Because by the time I ever heard of Steve Jackson, he was doing Steve Jackson games. Because that's like the Ogre and the Car Wars days. But you are kind of an encyclopedia of everything gaming, so I'm not questioning you. I just need to verify it, because for whatever reason that surprises me. And I guess now that I think of it, I don't remember who wrote the original Rogue Trader book. Or what Games Workshop was doing before Rogue Trader. I assume there was something. I'm just gonna go back and see. So this is one of the first ones I did. He dried pretty nice. I like where he's at. Just have to decide now if I want to airbrush or drybrush the next step. Yeah, this has kind of been my thing more so than playing video games lately, to be honest. I just haven't really been able to get into video games. Gosh dang, cool guy! I like that emote. Thanks, brah. Means a lot. So, people in England are drinking American bourbon, and people in America are drinking Irish whiskey. I guess, is there really an English whiskey? Maybe that's an interesting question. I never thought about that. There's Scotch, which is Scottish whiskey. And there's Irish whiskey, which is literally just whiskey. That's where the name comes from. Whiskey means water in Gaelic. Ah, okay, Irish whiskey. What kind of Irish whiskey are you having, Shuli? I'm a big fan of Jameson, Bushmills. Bushmills has an Irish red that is fantastic. I love it a little more than I probably should lately. And on this guy, I'm just trying to get, you know, the only real trick with these guys is trying to get the strokes so that you get deeper bits of paint in the folds. Paddy Irish whiskey, huh? We don't have that one where I'm at because, well, where I'm at is kind of barbarian lands that I think alcohol makes you a bad person. Dundalin. I'm gonna need you to send me some of that. Let me PM you my address. Cause that sounds pretty fantastic. All right, we got, let's see how many more of these guys. We got 6 guys left. So much ghost. This is really just a process of being taking it easy, just taking your time. Don't overdo it, because it'll look like crap. So I'm actually trying to see. It's only the second time I've used this stuff, and it's the first time I've let it just dry by itself, so kind of trying to see how it pulls and what kind of things I need to think about in the future when I use it. It's really basically almost a wash. A wash is really just a really thin paint that has enough pigment in it to just kind of sit in the cracks of whatever you're painting. Yeah, where I live, unfortunately, we can't actually go online and buy whiskey because reasons. Because I live in one of the few states in the US that's a theocracy. They really truly believe that Jesus didn't want them to have a good time, so here we are. Oh, it's just about. So, Shilly, does that whiskey come in a glass bottle or a plastic one? I'm kind of super jealous right now. Oh, glass. So it's not. I once heard that real Irish whiskey, like the best, actually comes in a plastic bottle. But maybe that was a lie. Maybe it's changed since then. Here in the US, the good stuff comes in a glass bottle, because, well, that's what Americans expect, I guess. But that was like, God, I heard that like 15 years ago. It's been a couple of days. And knowing who the person came from, somebody might have been lying to her. Two more. And then we'll have to see if we can start on the next phase. Kind of want all of this to dry first. But I think we might be okay if we start in the same place as the last phase. I think everything will be ready by the time we do the next part of the painting on it. And for me, that'll probably be airbrushing, since I have an airbrush and I like to be lazy. That'll be doing the next layer of green over him. Do what you want, bro. You looking for a video game, or? I gotta admit, I haven't played Warframe for quite a while, but that Warframe video I posted earlier today, holy crap, they're doing some cool stuff. They've definitely progressed a bit since the last time I played them. This guy, when I was gluing him, I missed connecting his arm, but I figured since he was a ghost, that would actually be kind of appropriate. Just have his arm kind of end and then start again. Let's see, Suku, I see every once in a while, but I know she's working again. And she's got a different Twitch handle now, so I don't know how often she gets back on her other account, although that doesn't really matter as long as she shows up, but yeah, I haven't seen her for a while. Fat, I haven't seen him for a while. Call Dead shows up every once in a while. Major update. Yeah, no, I posted a link to their update in our Discord, and it's a huge update. It's really big. They're doing a whole lot of stuff. I'm gonna switch back over here for a second. I'm gonna just sip a couple of sips of coffee. Pet the kitty that you can't quite see, but she's like right here. And then I'm probably going to break out the airbrush for the next step, I think. But yeah, they're adding a bunch of new open world stuff, and they're adding ship-to-ship combat. They've really gone like full spaceship warfare now, which is kind of cool. The video is just ridiculous. It's so good. It definitely tempted me to download it again, that's for sure. Alright, so the next step that we're going to do, we're going to take this Gauss Blaster Green. And it is like a nice, light, sickly green color. And we're going to just airbrush it on all of these guys. It's going to kind of give them a look like that. It's going to give them that highlighted look where it makes the green we just painted on a little more subtle. Too fast and chaotic. You're a lazy guild war. No, you aren't. I've seen you play plenty of action games. It's no more fast and chaotic than Star Wars The Old Republic PvP. I know the truth. I'm sure it'll give you reason to rage just as much as that too. It is a fast game though. It is very action oriented. And really, being a Guild Wars 2 player, the grind won't bother you, because that game is super grindy. Alright, so for this, what we do here, this is... Oh, that is actually the wrong thing. Where's the right bottle? That won't hurt anything too much. We're going to put on a little bit of Flow Improver. And that just thins out this paint, makes it go through the airbrush easier. And then we are going to just pull some of this out of the pot with a brush. Try to make sure we got enough. So we got to get through all these miniatures, so if we don't do this right, we got to come back for more. And then from here, we're going to head on over to the airbrushing booth. Well, so there you go. Yeah, the Warframe is like the best of both worlds. It's very PvE oriented, but it's very quick paced, a lot like you probably would expect to get from your Star Wars The Old Republic PvP, so there you go. Best of both worlds. Just gonna kind of arrange these guys in the order I was starting them with, so we can get this right, and then we're gonna switch over here. Alright, so from here, what we're gonna do, and I always apologize because this doesn't look quite as good as my other stuff, but we are going to turn on the airbrush, so that really helps. Then we're going to give these guys all some highlights. So let me make sure I didn't screw up the camera like I just hit it. There we go. Make sure we're getting a little bit of white, and then we're just going to layer this on. We're just leaving some of the dark bits underneath. Concentrating mostly on the extremities. Drink some more, Patty, yes. Drink more whiskey. And a lot of this, I'm trying not to get this too thick. This is just a highlighting layer, so this is just really thin and fast. I am doing what's called a zenithal spray, so kind of from like where there would be like a light source from the top. And that kind of helps preserve some of the shadows that we created with the paint. And we'll probably do one more later with a really light gray, probably. Before we actually do some painting with our brushes. Sorry, I just missed what that was. Was that a host? That's what I get for not being on my other I'm a little bit behind on the stream stuff. Anyway, thank you for whatever that was. You can tell I haven't streamed for a while. I'm not good at all the really important stuff. Sometimes this paint is so subtle, it's easy to miss. Some of these guys haven't dried very much yet. That's all right, we're wet blending, we'll just say that. That's legit, right? I think it's because I'm grabbing from the wrong side of the pile here. Just one little thing you might be noticing, but I always spray a little bit of paint on my thumb just to make sure that I'm getting paint before I get going, because it can be so subtle. And mostly just to make sure that my airbrush isn't clogged. Speaking of clogged, oh, nope. I used all the paint. I need like 1,000,000 times more paint than that. Alright, hang on a second while I get some more paint on the brush. Just some flow improver and a much bigger brush this time. Let's try this one. Still feel like that's going to be too thin. Hopefully this one's about right. Oh, yeah. Oh, you finished your Irish whiskey, bud? That's too bad. Alright, we're back. Back to some paints. So many ghosties. We just all need to get together to drink that whiskey. That's what we need. Really trying to concentrate on the extremities here. As we do our next layer of paint, we'll pretty much just paint on the edges. We won't really paint a lot of the middle of the model. Kind of make it look like he's disappearing. As you can see though, this goes pretty quick. If you can afford an airbrush when you're painting, it's definitely worth it. It's such a useful tool. And to be honest, I'm an airbrush newbie. I barely use these to the level of which some people are capable of. Well, I think we're over halfway there. Schvans, thank you for those bits. I think you are now the bits king of the channel. My little bits cup was feeling empty, so it needed some more bits in it. I'm using a brush. I'm just using a different type of brush. How is it when I have... Oops, sorry, camera. How's it when I have the airbrush going? Since you guys are my friends and I appreciate your input. Does it sound terrible because I got the exhaust fan and the airbrush going? Is it okay? When I've listened to it on my VODs, it doesn't sound completely ridiculous, but it's not great. Okay, that's the most important thing, as long as it doesn't sound... Like the first couple of times I did it, I just did it in silence because I was afraid it just would be overwhelming with everything. Dropped one. Ooh, that's a lot of these guys. Cool. If anybody would tell me they don't like it, I know I can always count on you, Schwans. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Although actually, probably Schwans and Shuli, you both would tell me straight up. But yeah, I've been putting these VODs out on YouTube, and people seem to be enjoying those there. So I'm actually kind of having fun. I'm kind of glad I decided to incorporate my streaming and painting together because they're both fun hobbies that I enjoy, and I think they complement each other really well. And it gives me a chance to hang out with old friends that I haven't been able to spend time with for a long time. Calm down! Ah! How dare you tell me my stream sounds okay? Shit. I'm on a rampage. Boo, boogity, boogity, boo. I love these guys. The thickness, yeah, it really comes from, I mean, the thickness you can adjust based on the paint. So the thinner I get the paint, then the thinner it is. I can leave it fairly thick, but you have to be careful because only so thick a paint will go through the airbrush. And we really want these to be kind of subtle layers. We want the darker green to show up underneath. So I am using it slightly thinner. and we'll actually do another coat probably tomorrow or Thursday of a lighter gray, like a really, really light gray, and that'll help even everything out, and then we'll be on to adding some details on these guys. But generally speaking, when you're painting models, you want to go thinner layers. That helps to make sure you're just keeping all of the details really popping. It's a little easier to do with models like the Games Workshop stuff, because Games Workshop makes really nicely detailed models. So you got a little more leeway, but for the most part, most models, gotta be a little careful. Alright. Homeboy looks good. So let's see, I'm gonna switch this over so you guys can see kind of what we ended up with here. We're gonna shut down all the noisy stuff. So that's this. It's a little hard to see. We got 20 ghosties here. All painted and primed. I think that so far we're on the way to getting a really cool ghostly effect. The next thing we're going to do, and this will probably be in the next couple of days, so we're going to end up painting like all the chains. They're going to get really nice, cool effect. They're going to be all rusty. I'm gonna probably do something more with the face and the arms. On some of them, I did a dark ink color. So like this guy is an example of that, but I'm not sure if that's enough. I might do them in, like, especially like the face, maybe in a bone color. And then, yeah, we've got another light. We're gonna lighten them up even more with some sort of a gray, and that should look pretty nice. And then we'll have us some super sexy ghosts. I mean, as sexy as a ghost gets. But yeah, I think it's a good start. I like where they're going. We'll add a little more depth. You know, I actually forget to log into Discord, so that's a good reminder. It's been so quiet there, so I will do that in the future, Miss Shuli. I appreciate it. But for now, I am gonna get off. I gotta go take my doggos out, clean up the airbrush and stuff like that. I just wanted to stop in, say hi to everybody, get this next step done. So hopefully by the time the weekend's over, we'll have these 20 ghosties finished and be able to move on. I got some really cool stuff coming. I've got some really freaking intense models I get to work on in the next few days. So those show up. Oh, they're going to be here probably Thursday, Friday. So I'll probably pick them up Friday, start working on those. I don't know if I'll stream the build portion or if I'll just stream the painting, but I definitely will be back more. Yeah, sorry, Shuli. I hate to do that, but I got to get out of here. I got family stuff to do, so I'm gonna go do that. I'll probably be back on Discord and Twitch later. For everybody watching on YouTube, make sure and hit that like and subscribe. And yeah, keep on coming back. Let me know what else you would like to see. I hope you're enjoying the content so far, and everybody have a great night. I will see you all later.